Success. Thank you, everyone. I'm Linda Gravani, Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council President. Today is April 6, 2022, and it is 6:35. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Lydia, can you hear? You have your hand raised?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can, thank you.
James, will you move over Miguel and Michael?
Okay.
Thank you. So again, I want to call the meeting to order and welcome our stakeholders. We have quite a number, which is great. Chat is not operational. If you wish to add something or ask questions, please raise your hand if you're on the webinar or do a *6, I believe it is, to raise your hand via the phone. So LA City Charter Section 900 is what created neighborhood councils. Our mission is to bring forward our concerns to the elected officials. We are a department within the City of Los Angeles. We're required to follow all city and state laws. The Brown Act does not allow us to discuss anything that is not on tonight's agenda. There is an item called public comment where you can address items not on the agenda. The president, who's me, will identify the suggested time limits for each item so that the meeting will end around 9:30. And time allocations are approximate and may be shortened or lengthened at the discretion of the president. And our timekeeper is James Brown. Raise your hand, James. There we go. We need the Pledge of Allegiance, and I have my handy dandy flag.
Miguel and Michael still aren't over here.
I can't move them over, Linda. Did you make me co-host?
Yeah, Jeremy could do that, but I'll take care of it. Just a second.
You have to add me back again, Linda.
Oh, since I left.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. I'll just, where are you, Jeremy? Okay, and James, where are you? Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. So number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
Would everyone who's able please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, can we do roll call? Carol, Danica is not here tonight. She's absent. Carol has graciously, after I arm wrestled her, to be our secretary this evening, and I so appreciate it. Thank you very much. And would you please do roll call?
I will do roll call. I just wanted to say, I'm probably going to ask to interrupt the proceedings every now and then to make sure I understand what's going on. So just please, everybody be nice about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, roll call at 6:40 p.m. James Brown.
Here.
Michael Cortez.
He's still not brought over. There he goes.
Katie Cronin.
She didn't say anything, so I guess she's absent.
Ruth Doxey is here.
Here.
Jasmine Garcia is here. Linda Gravani, is she here? Yes. she's
Yeah.
here. Sandra Joseph, I think, is here. Gary Kay is here. Miguel is here. Ellen Nelson is here. Carol Newman, we don't know where she is. I'm here for the recording. I'm here. Jeremy Pizanik is here. Tom Riley. I saw him in the participant.
You know what? Let me bring him over. Sorry. I just see him too.
All right, well, Tom Riley is here, Linda Schwerin is here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 present, 1 excused, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Linda, may I ask who the excused person is?
Danica.
Danica? Thank you.
And the only difference is excused or absent. I was told ahead of time that Danica was not going to be here, so that's excused. But it's, you know, you're not here, you're not here. Can we poll the board members for completion of mandatory training? I neglected to put the board members' names down. So I know, Jeremy, you cannot vote tonight because you've not completed your mandatory training. Alan, have you completed?
Yes, I sent you an email last night.
I didn't see it today at all. So you completed all the training that's mandatory?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Ruth, you completed training. James Brown, yay! James Brown completed training. Michael Cortez, you completed training, correct? Miguel, you had one, was it ethics that you still need?
I emailed Daniel. That was completed a week and a half ago.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Tom Riley has not completed the treasurer's training, and he's informed me since he's leaving, he's not going to. So we'll have one wing behind us. Number 5, removal of. Somebody saying something? No. Okay, number 5, removal of board member due to attendance requirements outlined in the bylaws. Anyone that misses 5 meetings out of the 10 meetings is going to be removed from the board. I was counseled by Elise Rudin on what to do. And that has all taken place. So unfortunately, I do have to remove Mary Penniman from the board. She's a senior rep, so we will have the senior seat available. Number 6, adoption of the agenda for April 6. I have a couple corrections. Number 10, I've misspelled lobbyist. Should be LOBBYIST. Number 14 is land use discussion and possible action. I'm going to change the date on that to June 2. Our neighborhood council meeting is June 1. And Tom Riley will be leaving at that meeting. That will be his last meeting. So I want to change the appointment date to June 2. And then number 37, I use the symbol for feet as opposed to inches. So we don't want plastic bags that large. I mean, we do shop a lot in Ralph's, but we want inches. So if you'll make those corrections. So I would like to adopt the agenda for April 6, 2022 with those updates.
One other correction, please.
Yes, Steve?
On number 18, about location of the collection bin, you have it as Genesta and Wyandotte.
Oh, yeah, I misspelled Wyandotte. Yes, I apologize.
No, it's at Cantlay, not Wyandotte.
Okay. Thank you. So I move Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council approve the agenda for April 6, 2022 with the aforementioned corrections.
Second.
Second.
Sorry, beat you, James.
Yes,
You
she
bet.
did.
You got it.
Gravani made the motion and Ruth Doxey seconded. Any further discussion?
I had one other correction I just spotted, Linda. On the neighborhood council committee listing, my health and public safety meeting begins at 7 o'clock, not 6:30.
Oh,
There seems to be some other verbiage in there too that
thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Well, we'll do that again. I move that Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council approve the agenda for April 6, 2022 with the aforementioned correction.
Second.
Thank you, Ruth. Gravani made the motion, Ruth seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, Ruth, Carol, would you take vote?
Just a minute. All right, James Brown,
yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Katie Cronin, not here. Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
Jasmine Garcia,
Yes.
Linda Gravani,
Yes,
Sandy Joseph,
Yes.
Gary Coe,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Alan Nelson, Carol Newman is yes. Jeremy is not allowed to vote, is that correct?
correct.
Tom Riley,
Yes.
Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
All right, we have one. 12. 12 yes. One excused, one absent, one ineligible.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're on to number 7, discussion and possible action for the approval of minutes for March 2, 2022. Unfortunately, we didn't get an updated version from Danica, so we will have to skip that. We'll move on to number 8, our guest speaker from Birmingham Charter High School.
Excuse
And
me,
that,
Linda? Sorry. The minutes didn't really have any major corrections that I could find.
I'm sorry,
The minutes didn't have any corrections needed, really. Why are we going over, we're not voting on them?
because the last I heard were the minutes went out, but I didn't get a completed version. So I personally don't know if 7 of you sent in changes and they all appear on the minutes. So we're just going to have to wait for next month. If I don't get them for the agenda, I'm sorry. Anyway, we have our guest speaker from Birmingham Charter High School, Dean Nick Halick. There was a write-up in the newspaper about Dean Nick giving back to the community, specifically Birmingham High School. And I thought it would be fabulous for us to hear about what he's doing and say thank you very much from the community. Nick? James, have you moved him over?
I don't see him on here. There is somebody that's called guest. If that person could raise their hand, that would be great.
I don't see him.
Well, he apologized last month. His son was sick and he lost all track of time. I thought you said he was on earlier. Is that not correct?
I don't see him now.
But you did see him before.
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe he'll call back.
Well, I'll just give you a short update. He and another Valley coach give back to the students. They're acting as a Yeah. The gentleman on the right is Nick. They are giving back to the students, and they're acting kind of like a surrogate father to the kids. There was a coach that Nick took under his arm when he was a young student at Birmingham. And since he's back at his old alma mater, he said he wanted to give back to the students as would happen for him. So I think we should recognize that he is really trying to help our community and the kids that come from our community. But nowadays, who knows where the kids are all coming from. Regardless, they get a pat on the back from him and they get encouragement. So we appreciate that. So thank you, Nick. And if you happen to see him, we'll make time for him to speak for himself. Thank you. Number 9, announcements and reports. We have a representative from LAPD or stand-in, James Brown.
Thank you, Linda. I just wanted to make mention of the fact that we have 2 new commanders at West Valley LAPD whose names I just got today. The new station commander is Brian Wendling, Wendling. He's the commanding officer. And the captain and commanding officer for patrol is Alexander Shoyoji. And so both of these gentlemen at some point in time will be available to speak at our upcoming neighborhood council meetings. I just wanted to make that announcement.
James, can you please spell Alexander's name?
Yeah, his last name is C as in Charles, H-O-G-Y-O-J-I. C-H-O-G-Y-O-J-I, first name Alexander, middle initial K.
That's why we had a little trouble pronouncing his name. Anyone else here from the field reps?
I saw the representative from Assemblymember Nazarian's office. I saw her.
Hi, Linda. This is Sophia from Assemblymember Nazarian's office.
Hi, Sophia. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So my name is Sophia Sudani, field representative from Assemblymember Nazarian's office. A couple updates on our front on the legislative side. The Assembly member has put forth AB 558, which is the Child Nutrition Act. This would provide an additional reimbursement to schools that serve a plant-based entree or milk option or restricted diet option. This has moved forward to the Senate Education Committee. On the district side of things, as always, as I've said throughout this entire year, our office is working on EDD cases, DMV issues, and if anyone has applied already for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program and is still waiting for their funds, please do reach out to me. We're helping hundreds of individuals throughout our district work through that system and make sure that they get their funds, as well as Caltrans. Please, if you've submitted any CSRs, feel free to send those over my way. We're right now the Assembly member it's a huge priority for our district to make sure we clean up our freeways and have that taken care of. So we're going to be working on a new approach to working with Caltrans and trying to make sure that this is a constant priority in our district and that these freeways, again, get cleaned up as soon as possible. So with that comes a new role that we really want to engage with our community and make sure that the priorities of different freeways get addressed. So please, if you're filling out any customer service request forms, and I'd be happy to send that link over as well, please do send those my way so I can get those prioritized. With Caltrans as well, there is a Clean California project, which for those that don't know, $5 million in freeway improvements has been secured by the Assembly member for including the 101, 170, and 405. That project will have a informational community meeting on this Thursday from 6 to 7, focusing on the 405, which directly impacts obviously Lake Balboa. There will be, this project is going to be directly impacting fencing along the 405. So I strongly encourage any community members to attend, make your voices heard, hear that program, seeing how it's going to impact our community, and also giving them your input on this. Lastly, last but not least, we are having for any community meetings that would like to be set up with the assembly member, we're doing a new method, and you need to just go onto our website and you can schedule, put a request in for scheduling a meeting with the assembly member. Besides that, I'm here as always for any state-related matters. And actually, last but not least, we have a new district director as well, Steve Ferguson, who I believe is on this meeting as well.
Yes. Let me move him on over.
I'm saving the best for last.
Come on over, Steve. Here you go.
Yeah, but Steve just recently joined our office and he just wanted to introduce himself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you, Linda, and all the members of this council who are serving every single day. I'm very excited to be joining the Nazarian team. Sophia is wonderful. She will continue to be your primary rep, but I am here as an additional resource, an additional layer as we work with your community. So really enjoy local public service. I also serve on the Burbank School Board, so I'm not new to local government, but really looking forward to working with all of you. So thank you so much. And I will send my contact information so you can always reach out to me directly. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And I'll add it to our agenda. I have all the phone numbers and emails on our agenda for the convenience of our stakeholders. So welcome to the team.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. And Vienna Para, off from jury duty today. Vienna has been on jury duty.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am Viana. I am the Lake Balboa Field Deputy with Council President Nuri Martinez's office. Hope everyone is well. So yes, fortunately, I did find some time after jury duty today to have some updates for y'all. So let's get through those. Earlier in March, we had some good success working on some encampments and cleanup efforts on the northern stretch of Haskell by Haskell and Stagg and by Budweiser as well. Shout out to Sophia. Excellent effort on behalf of the state, sanitation, and many of those individuals are still housed. We've been working heavily with those businesses, so it's good to see some progress made there. On the same note of larger vehicles and RVs in Lake Balboa, the Los Angeles City Council today passed some guidelines for abandoned vehicles and mostly targeting vehicles that are being used as storage, so that are not housed, but this is still definitely a problem in Lake Balboa. So I know the CAO is going to be developing some guidelines for implementing towing for those types of vehicles. So we should be able to see some progress made there as well. And finally, to cap the Haynes footbridge saga, I just wanted to share what my canvassing and polling looked like. So I went to about 600 homes around the Haynes footbridge. Yes.
Vienna, most of the board doesn't know anything about the footbridge, so you need to do a little background.
Okay. I thought I discussed it last meeting, but I can definitely give a little bit of background too. So there is a footbridge off of Victory and Balboa on the northeastern side off of Haynes, hence the Haynes footbridge running over Bull Creek. Some residents have been organizing to reopen this footbridge, which was closed in 2004. So our office, sorry about that, brain fart. Our office, entertained that request and just wanted to see how the community felt about this bridge. It had been about 20 years. So I had a couple of community meetings on the topic, both hosted by our office and another local Lake Balboa neighborhood watch meeting. I spoke to hundreds of residents in the area, about 600 homes I knocked on. We had about 40 to 50% of a response rate, and my ending results for the survey of whether to open this footbridge or not was 32.9% of residents in favor, 45.2% of residents not in favor, and 21.8% of residents had no opinion. So I also took those numbers and went to homes that were only close to the bridge, and of course, the homes closest to the bridge were even strongly opposed to reopening it. So just wanted to share that. Going forward, our office wants to work on beautifying this area because I completely understand that the bridge is somewhat of a blight to the community. Looking at a closed bridge you can't walk on every day. So there is a Beautify LA grant that is a $2,500 city match grant that I'm looking at applying to smaller projects in Lake Balboa like this bridge. So I can send some more information around with that. But if anyone has any smaller beautification ideas in Lake Balboa, the grant deadline is May 6th. And otherwise, that is it on my end.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I don't see Daniel Johnson. Yes, I do. Here's Daniel Johnson from Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. Come on over.
He's over.
Perfect. Hey, Daniel.
You're muted. Daniel is muted.
Still is.
And then we also have Michael Liu.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Daniel?
He's still muted.
He's on a mute break.
Maybe we should take Michael.
James, maybe you can work on that with Daniel. Okay, Michael Liu.
Good evening, everybody. Michael Liu with the City Attorney's Office Neighborhood Prosecutor Unit. Just a quick little introduction. Our unit duties include maintaining quality of life issues for the residents of Los Angeles, and specifically my responsibilities are for the people and the stakeholders in West Valley LAPD area. Those things can range anything from neighbor disputes, loud parties, noise violations, all the way up to all sorts of various things that are too numerous for me to list at this point. So what I would encourage you to do, if you do have anything that is unusual or you need to, you think our office can do something to help with, please email me or call me. My number is listed in the agenda, and I'm happy to do what I can and try to work through whatever problem you're facing. With respect to the announcement, I wanted to quickly highlight an event that our office is putting together. It is called Prom Closet. There is an event coming up on April 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a Saturday. It's at the LAPD Olympic Station, so it's a little bit farther from where you folks are. The address is 1130 South Vermont Avenue, LA, California, 90006. But this is an event held, sponsored by City Attorney Mike Fuhrer and our Neighborhood Prosecutor Unit, where anybody who is in need or wants to have a prom makeover, boys or girls, suits, dresses, makeup, it's all free of charge. You don't have to register anything. Just go at the times on April 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we will try to get as many people ready for their prom event as we can.
Nice. Nice. And I want to tell the board and the stakeholders that Michael is instrumental on moving forward the issue at the Rat House. And if you don't know about it, it's been an ongoing problem for some of our stakeholders. And kudos to Mike, because without his assistance, it would still be where it was 5 years ago. Anyway, thank you, Michael. We appreciate it. Anyone else?
Daniel, I believe, is unmuted.
Yes.
Daniel. Hey,
yes.
Daniel.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Don't be so quiet.
Forgive me for not unmuting the first time. Just have a few updates. Just based off I'm always a stickler for trainings just so we can make sure things run smoothly. I would recommend that folks that think you may have everything in, just go ahead, take this moment to double check the empowerla.org website. So I don't have to just say who's missing their trainings, but there are some folks that are missing funding that won't be able to vote on funding items tonight. And that might be because the system was not updated. So if you see your name on that list right now with a blank and you're like, I did it, please just go ahead and email it to me ASAP so I can make sure you're good tonight. Because if not, if you aren't able to produce that for me tonight, I will have to ask that you refrain from voting on funding items tonight, just so that the board doesn't get dinged on the back end, okay? Just want to be clear with that. So to start that, so with that being said, of course, if you feel like you have a conflict of interest on any agenda items, please, please, please make sure you reach out to the city attorney so you can get support in regards to that. We don't want you to recuse on your own. We want to make sure that you reach out, seek that support, and then come back to the board as well with that information, and then you can recuse yourself, okay? We just want to make sure we have a proper way of going about that. Of course, yes.
Daniel, so that means that we need another layer of approval. I think we're adult enough to know when somebody needs to be recused.
It's not an additional layer of an additional approval. It's just checks and balances. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. We never know, like I might need to vote, but then I might not need it to recuse myself, right? It might not be that, it might not be a conflict. So we just, just crossing our T's and dotting our I's. That's what it is. Don't want to go to the city attorney, Dave, you can always reach out to me, and then we could try to have that dialogue for sure. But we just, just making sure that the board can run smoothly, that's all. Not trying to add more pressure, just want to make sure we run efficiently.
Well, to be really candid, we've been up to our eyeballs on recusal, and I think we're quite knowledgeable on the topic.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So who do you have that you show needs to have funding training?
Just per the Empower LA website, we have Michael Cortez.
No,
Don't
Michael.
be alarmed.
No, Michael. Michael complete. Yep.
I'm with you, but on the website it's not reflective. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm asking if you could go ahead and send that certification over in case rosters or whoever is not in the department currently, so that I could put the stamp on it and say, hey, actually, Michael did it because it's completed by Mr. Cortez. Mr. Cortez should be able to go in there, see that certificate, screenshot, and send it to me ASAP, right?
I could have sworn I sent you a screenshot, but I can send it to you again if you want.
Okay, just specifically only the funding. Ethics, we're good. Everything's good, just need to see that one, okay?
Okay, I thought they were all included, but I'll double check.
Appreciate it.
No, Mike, I did double check and Michael's good.
That would be the only person.
Okay, super.
Yeah, that would be the only one. Of
right.
course. Oh, and Mr. Nelson, if you could get code of conduct in, that one should be more of a signee and done. That one isn't a full-fledged training. That would be the only two in regards to completion. And of course, we have the anti-bias trainings that I'm going to ask that folks get that in as soon as possible. But other than that, we're good to go. In terms of training, I'm gonna slow down a little bit for this one because it was a very, I want to applaud Gary. He reached out about the Planning and Land Use Committee and the Planning 101 training. So I brought back that a question in regards to the Planning and Land Use Committee. I would like an updated roster on who's on that committee because we currently have a few folks that have completed that training listed on the website, but those folks may not actually be a part of the committee. So by default, someone in the department could have just added folks like me, for example, if I completed the training to the committee, not knowing that I'm actually not on the committee. And so what I would like to do is get an official roster from the board who's on the Planning and Land Use Committee so I could reach out and support those folks and getting that training completed.
Okay, that has been done in the past, and Tom has not added any new people. Have you received anything back,
No.
Tom?
No.
Okay.
Well, so the ball's in Dunn's court to
Okay.
provide the training for those people.
Okay, I'll reach out to someone in the department and get that roster over, just in case, because if not, then that Planning 101 automatically defaults to the entire board. So what I would like to do, of course, is not defaulted on the entire board, and come in a reprimanding approach for those to not complete it. Just trying to work with the board to get that done.
Understand, but ball's in Dunn's court, so please,
Got you.
please do all possible. Thank
Okay,
you.
I got you. Just for
Perfect.
clarity, in case not, it defaults for the entire board, but that won't be happening.
No.
Of course, wonderful folks. I see you have your cameras on. I have mine on. Recommendation is for folks to have your camera on. Recommendation, suggestion, not mandated. So if you'd like to have your camera on, more power to you. We believe it creates more engagement, opportunity for the stakeholders to get to know you. And it's an opportunity to reflect what you were doing real time, right? You're not hiding behind a camera in person. So why hide behind the camera or not utilize your camera, not say hide, not utilize your camera online, but we do understand that folks have other things going on at home. So it's just a strong suggestion, nothing mandated there. And if you would like, I mean, you see my wonderful Zoom background. If you would like, we recommend, hey, create one for the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. Therefore, people can see your background. Although you all have wonderful backgrounds, if I turn mine off, you'll be like, Daniel, turn your background back on. So that's why mine is on. Last but not least, we have some financial trainings coming up. Officer training for whoever may become the next treasurer. That one will be April 12th. Don't worry, you'll get the dates, of course, via email from me. You can also find it in your monthly profile for Lake Balboa. So April 12th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., that would be the next financial officer training. The one after that will be Tuesday, April 26th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So those two are available. Again, anyone could take those trainings if you would like, but specifically for that next officer, we want to make sure we get them registered and they can take that training. Other than that, I have 3 more dates and I'll be open for questions. The first one will be for May 20th. Of course, that's the final date to request the event approval for the current fiscal year. June 1st will be the final date to submit a check payment request using the funds. And then June 20th would be the final day for any bank card transactions. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. In regards to bonk, they just had a meeting yesterday. I will provide those updates soon, hopefully by the end of the week. What I can say is before yesterday, so the meeting before the last meeting, they did pass a motion to continue to meet, for us to continue to meet virtually. There are a lot of questions that comes to meeting in person. And what I did share with my board the other day is that there's a lot of factors that are coming in and conversations that are happening so folks could do hybrid meetings and or meet in person. One of the things I want to be clearer on is that we have over 100 neighborhood councils, right? Therefore, those are 100 different locations that have to be ADA approved. Not only that, you may have to, that's 100 different neighborhood councils that may have to follow COVID-19 guidelines. So we're listening to folks, we're hearing everyone's voice. I just want to make sure you all understand that that is clear. And that's kind of part of that process of having those conversations, right? The last thing I feel like folks will want to do, folks will have to know if they would need to get vaccinated or anything like that per either city and or not even the city, right? That building, wherever you're trying to get that space. And so that's what we're trying to make sure we gather all that information, okay? Just to add a little bit clarity there, right? You may know your space, Park NY, excuse me if I messed up the name, if they may mandate that or not, but our department doesn't know that yet. So we're trying to work with you all, okay? Just want to make sure that's clear. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay, just for everyone's clarification, number 23 on the agenda are the funding deadline dates, in case you didn't get it. Linda Schwerin?
Yeah, I had a question for Daniel, or actually maybe a request for a clarification. Do I understand that Bonk did the meeting with regard to ongoing hybrid / in-person meetings, and that you should know by the end of this week how long our
No,
type of meeting is extended?
excuse me for not articulating clearly. They voted to continue virtual meetings until further notice. What I was trying to add context to is that going back in person isn't a smooth process because there are so many boards, right? And we're trying to lock in those locations, and we're trying to make sure we understand those rules and regulations to support folks meeting in person, right? So as long as you keep advocating for meeting in person and understanding process and what might hold up, I think we can all find a solution. I don't want the boys to think that we're not trying to find a solution, because it may seem that way. It's just a lot of factors that are going into it. Trust me, we all want to be in person. Just bear with us and continue to offer your support and lend some insight is what I'm asking.
So does this,
yes.
So does this mean that in May and likely in June also, that neighborhood councils are going to be meeting virtually online?
Yes. Said until further notice.
Yeah, until further notice. Still virtual.
Until further notice.
Keep those fingers crossed and don't give up that hope. We're working on it. We're gonna find this solution. Trust me, it's easier for everyone. Even the hybrid solution that a lot of folks will keep proposing, that's going to be even more interesting to figure out as well, right? So just
Thank you.
Again, if you got some support to offer, please send it our way.
Thank you. Michael?
Daniel, I just emailed you my certificate, but if you want, I can also share my screen to show you the certificate as well, if that helps. I don't mind showing everybody my certificate.
What was your score?
Eligible to vote on funding items. You're good to go. That's
great.
That's all I needed right there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, perfect. And on the agenda, the West Valley Neighborhood Alliance of Homelessness was being covered by our stakeholder, Eilenberger. He has changed in his schedules and he is no longer able to attend those meetings. So just FYI, I'll remove that from the next agenda. Okay, number 10, public comments. So anything that's not listed on the agenda that you wish to discuss, please raise your hand. And if you happen to be on the phone, dial *9. And then to unmute yourself, *6. And I see 2 hands raised. Craig? Oh, Craig for the mayor's office. Well, hey, come on over. Thanks, Craig.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much to the work that each of you are doing as part of the neighborhood councils system. You are on the front lines of local politics, and I have immense respect given that our leadership often isn't. And I wanted to come in and introduce myself. My name is Craig Grabby, and I'm a candidate for mayor here in Los Angeles. I am the only true outsider candidate for mayor. When I joined the race in November, I was the only candidate with concrete published and vetted plans in homelessness, affordability, crime, and corruption. Since then, we've added plans in veterans programs, post-COVID recovery, jobs and innovation, climate change and community engagement and working families. I pride myself on the fact that I come from 20 years of a business background where results mattered, where I was in charge of global strategy for some of America's largest corporations and individuals, ranging from Verizon to the late Kobe Bryant. My job was solving nearly impossible problems while threading the needle, making sure that we brought stakeholders who were often in competition with each other together to drive results, which is exactly what I propose to do as mayor. I am, as I mentioned, the only true outsider, the only person who didn't have a hand in creating our problems. And I'm proud of the plans that we bring to the table to move us forward. A homelessness plan that was cited by the LA City Health Commission and is based on the 14 municipalities and 98 more municipalities across this country that are eradicating homelessness instead of doubling down on failed solutions. Programs that restore public safety without increasing our budget exponentially by using the resources we have effectively, and programs that will restore affordability while being the only candidate with a pledge to preserve every community and neighborhood while still building for the future and bringing costs of living in Los Angeles in line with what's reasonable. I welcome any questions and comments. My website is Craig for Mayor. Since my last name is unpronounceable, it's Craig Gregory for Mayor. But my website is craigformayor.com, and you can sign up there, where anyone can reach out at contact@craigformayor.com. I welcome all questions, and we pledge a response to all questions in under 24 hours. We're also planning events in the Lake Balboa area. I would love to see you and your community and neighbors there, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself at tonight's Neighborhood Council meeting.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next, we have someone named John. Hi, John. Unmute yourself, can you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So my last name is Akampora. I should have put that in there. If you want me to spell it, I can spell it. It's A-C-A, M like Mark, P like Paul, O-R-A. Viana and I have just connected through email. I haven't met her yet, but I am a co-owner of a building on Gloria Avenue. I was very active in this council meetings when we used to have them in person back in 2018. So I've been absent for quite a while, and I know time is valuable, so I'm going to go very quickly. My reason for getting engaged right now is I believe, I understand the homelessness. Okay, I understand that. We could talk all night about it. But I believe we have a crime element, particularly at 7650 Gloria Avenue. We brought that attention. Now, I don't know who is there one of the lead officers in this meeting?
Unfortunately, for public comment, we can't comment on your comment. And the reason, I know it sounds silly, but the reason is if there's somebody else out there as a stakeholder who said, oh, you know, I want to talk about that. I want to hear what they're saying. It's not on the agenda, so they don't know we're talking about it. So it's a one-way conversation, and we are making notes.
Okay, well, today I just want to educate myself. I'll start to get more involved because of this issue. But I did have two questions. Hopefully you can answer them.
No, we
Number
can't.
one, is the Van Nuys, or you can't answer anything?
No, right, it's a one-way
Okay.
street. Sorry. But you can ask the question and we'll get back to you if you give us your info.
Okay,
And you
so
don't
if I
have to-
ask a question.
We cannot
you
respond.
would
Again,
email me?
if somebody else in the community wanted to talk about it, it should be on the agenda, then we can have a discussion. But I'm Linda G.
Is it possible to put what I'm going to say tonight in the next agenda, or do I need to email? What is the protocol?
Email me, Linda G, like
Okay.
Gravani, at lakebalboanc.org.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I'm just kind of introducing myself. I think there's some problems that have arisen that need to, now I got to get involved. All in all, the last few years have seemed to be not so bad. I know the homeless issue is a big issue, so it's not going to be solved overnight. What I wanted to probably bring on the agenda is this so-called defunding, because this is what I hear when we call the police. Is how realistic is that? Is the Van Nuys LAPD really being defunded? And if they are, is the city council or the Lake Balboa Council have anything that we can do about it? And
So send me an email.
Time.
Send me an
Time.
email.
All right.
Sorry,
well,
John.
Thank you for helping me.
Okay, thank you. Christina? Oh, I missed one also. Trent, you're up next, and then Christina. If you can unmute yourself, that would be great.
Linda, we should advise that they have 2 minutes.
Yes.
Trent?
Yeah, I'm here. I just wanted to bring up a topic of trash that's kind of happening in the neighborhood. I know a lot of organizations and people have been getting together and, you know, just doing trash pickup and loading up garbage bags and leaving them for the city to pick up. But I've noticed that they're not actually being picked up. Primarily, I'm thinking down by the archery area, there's at least 50 garbage bags loaded up that have been there for about a month. And I would just like to see someone organizing picking that up, or even I'm happy to do it. I just don't even know where to start. So Linda, I'm not sure if I should be emailing you for this or if I should go somewhere else to find out.
No, the buck stops here. Linda G at lakebalboanc.org.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Trent. Christina?
I've unmuted. Sorry about the little glitch there. Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina Holland, and I am in the Public Affairs Division of the Department of Water and Power. And I wanted to mention two things. One, we released a mitigated negative declaration. It's an environmental document under CEQA requirements on March 24th. So the public comment period for that is now open. What's the project? It's a Roscoe trunk line. You guys are all familiar with Roscoe Boulevard, I'm sure. Some of you may have even seen our crews out there over the last 2 years making repairs. Along the way, I want to say there have been multiple leaks. The trunk line is about 105 years old, and it's time to get a new one. So the environmental document is out there for you to comment. It will be open through April 22nd, and you can find it at ladwp.com/ENV, short for environmental. So that's E like Edward, V like Victor, N like Nancy, environment, ENV notices, sorry, ENV, the word notices. All right, so you can find us and comment if you would like to comment on that. As part of this project, we will be decommissioning parts of it and installing a new main line for a very small section from White Oak to Louise. We're putting a new main line in that'll start towards the end of this month, and it'll be a very small work area set up that will be covered at the end of each day. There will always be a traffic lane open in both directions. My contact information, if you want to reach out to me, is christina.holland@ladwp.com. Christina the typical way, spell it CHRISTINA.Holland, HOLLAND @ladwp.com. And the other unrelated to construction projects that I wanted to bring up is our annual Earth Day open house at our Chatsworth Nature Preserve. Very exciting that we had a 2-year COVID hiatus and now we're on again. It will be Saturday, April 23rd. Everyone's welcome. It's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring the family, bring your friends, come out and see us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other hands? Stacy Rotter.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. My hand actually went up all the way back when Daniel was speaking because my question was actually for him from Dunn. The question is the continuation of virtual meetings. Does that vote, does that only apply to neighborhood council meetings, or does it also apply to events put on by the neighborhood council?
The Department of the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners has been charged with notifying the neighborhood councils 30 days prior. That's it. The events will have to follow COVID protocol, et cetera, et cetera. So we're planning an event in May, and that should be okay. The city clerk is approving, not approving various parts to that. So it's all in their hands and we're trying to follow the rules.
That's specifically why I was asking Daniel for clarification. are events still allowed to be in person?
Events are allowed to be in person. City clerk is handling that. The Board of Neighborhood Commissioners is handling the Neighborhood Council Board meetings.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay. Number 11, board member comments. Jasmine?
Sorry, I just saw two people with their hands up, Brenda Yanez and Mel Wilson, but their hands like are going down and up, so I wasn't sure if you saw.
No, I didn't actually. Ruth, you have your hand up. What? Let me just, James, can you help me out here?
Yeah, I'm looking
Brenda.
for.
Okay,
I'm looking
Brenda. Brenda, come on over. LA Council, LA Council, LA County.
Hey, Linda. Hi. Everyone.
Hi. Oh, there you are, Brenda. Thank you.
It took me a minute to rejoin. Is it okay for me to provide some updates? I apologize for joining you guys a little late today.
Yes, really quickly, if you can, please.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brenda Yanez. I am the field deputy for Supervisor Sheila Kuehl, and I'll be as quick as I possibly can. So as of right now, in terms of COVID-19 updates, what's more important as of right now is to know that on March 29th, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration did authorize a second booster dose of either Pfizer or Moderna COVID-19 vaccines for individuals 50 years of age and older who have already received their first dose at least 4 months prior. So if they received their first booster 4 months prior, they're able to now receive their second booster dose. Aside from that, very quickly wanted to touch upon the Breathe LA County's Guaranteed Income Program. I'm pretty sure the board has heard of it, and probably a lot of our constituents have heard of it as well. It has been advertised throughout LA County since the opening of it. So the program did open on March 31st, and it will be accepting applications through April 13. And it's basically a guaranteed income pilot program that will be providing 1,000 eligible residents in LA County with $1,000 per month for a total of 3 years. But there are very specific requirements in order for someone to be eligible for assistance. So I do recommend you going on to our webpage and checking out those requirements there. You're able to access that webpage by going on to ceo.lacounty.gov/PAI/breathe/. Aside from that, just very quickly wanted to remind you all that we continue to have our Whiteman Airport Community Advisory Commissions meetings, and the next meeting will be taking place on Thursday, April 28th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So we are planning our meetings to begin in person starting this month, but we are still finalizing a lot of those details. I do recommend you go ahead and keep an eye on our webpage at reenvision.whitemanairport.com for more information and all the details about our upcoming meeting. Other than that, again, feel free to connect with me if anybody has any questions, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with some assistance. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Thanks, Brenda. Appreciate it. There was somebody's hand raised and it just went down. So, okay, so we'll.
Linda, it was Mel Wilson. That was the other one that kept going up and down.
Thank you. Mel, oh, there you go. Hi, Mel. Public comment.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be brief. I'm Mel Wilson. I live in the San Fernando Valley, and I am a candidate for mayor of Los Angeles City. I'm a CSUN business grad, All-American football player, and an NFL football player with a business degree. And I have run businesses in the Valley for over 40 years, past president of the Southland Regional Association of Realtors, served under 3 different mayors who trusted me, Mayor Reardon, Viragosa, and Bradley. I would ask you to go to my website, melformayor.com, melformayor.com. You can learn all about what I'm about. I've been married for 49 years this June, to my lovely bride, Bessie. We both grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I was president of the Pacoima Chamber when I was 30 years old, president of United Chambers a few years back. So I've been ingrained in the Valley for many years, founding board member of the Valley Economic Alliance and Humanitarian of the Year voted by the Valley Economic Alliance. So my main priorities are making our city safe by hiring 350 mental health experts and up to 1,500 new patrol officers to make our city safe. I'm a housing guy. I have a master's degree in how to create housing that's affordable for the workforce and for millennials in LA. And my other priorities are really investing in our kids and our youth early. My website has a lot of details about what I'm about. And the other thing I'm really fighting for is to help clean up our environment, make our air safe again, because LA has the dirtiest air in the nation. I served on the Metro Board. I got the first and only Valley Rail system approved. And that will be starting in San Fernando, going through Pacoima and through Van Nuys to the Orange Line. So that's a bit about Mel Wilson. 3 different mayors trusted me, and what they said about Mel was he's honest, he works hard, he's a team player, and Mel just gets the job done. So I would ask you to go to my website, melformayor.com. I thank you for all your volunteer work. I know what you're going through, and it's good work that you're doing. The beginning of good governance starts with you, the neighborhood councils. Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we'll go to the board members. Let's see who had their hand raised first. Okay, Gary Kay.
Thank you. 3 things, please. One is I just want to give a shout out to Vienna for her assistance in working with the community on the pedestrian footbridge that she talked about earlier. And also last month's meeting, she mentioned about those of us that have parkway trees that need trimming. And I know that myself, as well as other neighbors in the immediate area, also reported trees, and that's already been taken care of. So big thank you for making that happen. Wanted to mention that we may want to put on future agenda item or land use item, the number of smoke shops that are opening up. We now have the one at Victory and Balboa. There are 2, there's a new one coming at Balboa and Van Owen, and there's 2 at Balboa and Sherman Way. So that's 5 smoke shops, all extremely close to one another and all near quite a bit of our school kids. And then lastly, I'd like to ask the website webmaster work group once again to please update the website. When you double click about, it still states that our meeting time is 7 p.m. as opposed to the 6:30 time. I'd also like to request that under the neighborhood watch tab that the LAPD tab be removed, as all the information, the links that it takes you to is outdated information. And then lastly, that I'm still awaiting some of the webmaster paperwork that I've previously requested. Thank you.
Next is Ruth Doxey.
Hi, yes, the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Area Steering Committee met on March 22nd. Among the several things that were covered, the UCLA Resource Conservation District Practicum project gave a presentation on planning for wildlife resilience and community restoration. It's much needed after the fires. You can see www.sepulvedabasinwildlife.org for the recording of the meeting and the presentation. The master plan for the Sepulveda Basin is Council File 20-1205 and 1205-S1 and 22-002-S9 need to be followed. We want to know what's going on as regards to the 2028 Summer Olympics, and CD6 has not been very forthcoming. We need to know about the impact on the traffic and the facilities. And Audubon Society continues to lead educational walks for LAUSD classes in the wildlife area, and there's beautiful wildflowers there now. Hunting and fishing continue to be a big problem, as well as the feeding of feral cats. The City of LA Ranger Mock said out of the 30 city park rangers, only 3 are assigned to the entire Valley region. For our region, most of them are assigned to Griffith Park. They have security officers that are also employed by Rec and Parks to assist by reporting, advising, and counseling park users, but only a ranger can give a ticket. And there was an increase in the city budget for both rangers and security officers. Thank you.
Ruth, if you have notes, can you
Yes.
please send me your notes and also Lydia?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Linda
Thank you.
Schwerin.
I needed to unmute. Okay, I would like to just remind everyone that the 13th Annual Senior Symposium, an event that is for health and wellness for seniors in the San Fernando Valley, will be held on May 14th at the One Generation Soccer Field. You may not be aware of the soccer field, but most everyone knows where the farmers market is on the weekends, and it is just adjacent to that facility. Lake Balboa will be participating. We do have a couple volunteers, well, 3 volunteers. I'm going to be spearheading that work group, and if there is anyone who would like to volunteer, either for event setup or strike, or just to be there at the event during the day, please contact me. Should I give my email address? Easy.
Yeah.
Linda S. like Sam at lakebalboanc.org. So if you would like to participate, please let me know. That's it.
Thank you. James Brown.
Thank you, Linda. First of all, kudos out once again to Viana Para for the work that she did with the pedestrian bridge. I was copied in on a lot of that correspondence, so thank you for that, Viana. I'd also like to remind everybody that the next West Valley LAPD CPAB, Community Police Advisory Board meeting, is next Wednesday, the 13th, beginning at 6 p.m. The guest speaker there will be the newly elected council member, Nithya Raman, who is a council member for Council District 4. She is an urban planner. She brings a great background with her to the neighborhood council, and she's the first Asian American ever elected to the city council, and the first person to actually unseat an existing council member in 17 years. She's going to be talking about homelessness issues. And one of the things that's really recently happened, Ruth might find this interesting, has to do with the fact that her council district received a $1.7 million grant to house 65 individuals living along the LA River. So I will post all of the meeting information on social media for those of you who care to attend this meeting. She's a dynamic speaker. She's very motivated, and she brings a wealth of knowledge, particularly in reference to homelessness. Let's see, the next thing is the fact that I encourage people who have questions about their communities, like John, who was on earlier, to be able to contact their senior lead officer. In this case, Officer Sam Park. At his email is 35234@lapd.online. He can answer questions for John or anybody else that lives in that area on bordering the 7600 block of Gloria Avenue. With that, I'm done. Thank you.
Perfect. I don't see any other hands, so we shall move on. LA City Charter, Section 909, Annual City Budget Priorities. Each neighborhood council may present to the mayor and council an annual list of priorities for the city budget. The mayor shall inform certified neighborhood councils of the deadline for submission so that the input may be considered in a timely fashion. Number 12, Budget Advocate, Region 3 updates. Carol, take your own notes, Carol.
Thank you, Linda. Upcoming for the budget advocates. First of all, you all got a flyer on Budget Day budget day this year. Every year we have budget day. And prior to the pandemic, we used to all troop down to City Hall and sit in City Hall for a while and get some food, and that was, a lot of people look forward to going to City Hall. City Hall, on the other hand, has been closed for 2 years and still not open. So budget day this year, once again, will be virtual. So you can attend in your pajamas. There's no, no obstacle to joining. It'll be a Zoom link, something of that sort. It'll be June 18, starting at 9:30 a.m. And we're putting together the speakers. I don't believe there is a fixed list of speakers yet, but we will have that, and I can report on that as we go forward. So that's June 18, 9:30 a.m. Please mark your calendar. And the budget advocates will be holding elections probably the week after budget day, not at budget day, the week after budget day. Also, other events coming up. April 10, this Sunday, I believe it is, at 3 p.m. We're having a town hall with the city controller candidates. Ron Galprin, the current city controller, is running for, I think, state controller. He's moving up, hopefully. And all of the current candidates for city controller are going to be appearing at our town hall. It'll be April 10 at 3 p.m. I believe you all got an invitation. At least I saw it on my Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council email. If you need any further information, let me know. But if you want to attend, just respond to the email that you received. If anybody listening to this did not get the email, let me know. My email address, let me give you my budget advocate email. It's Carol, CarolNCBA@gmail.com. We're also going to have a town hall on April 30th on the budget. Invitations have not gone out for that yet, but they will shortly. Again, if anyone wants further information, let me know. And of particular interest to the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, this coming Monday, April 11, I'm going to be attending a meeting with Raquel Beltran of Dunn, along with the two co-chairs of the Budget Advocates, who are Jennifer Goody and Glenn Bailey. And as you may know, you probably know from previous meetings, we've had kind of a strained relationship in the last year with Dunn. We are one of the groups that does budget advocacy. And there's another group also, the Budget Tribunes, that was recently formed that also does budget advocacy. And neither of us, neither Budget Advocates nor the Budget Tribunes, have been able to receive any money from any neighborhood council, which used to be the way we would pay for everything that we do, including budget day and town halls and everything else that we do. For at least the last year, we have not been able to receive any contributions from neighborhood councils. And as you know, last year, this neighborhood council gave $1,500 to the Budget Advocates, which basically disappeared in the Ethernet. We haven't gotten the money back. I mean, Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council has not gotten the money back, and the Budget Advocates didn't get it either. We've asked for clarification of that, never received it. So we're going to be having a meeting, three of us, with Raquel Beltran to see if we can cut through some of this red tape and figure out what we can do to get funding from the neighborhood councils. Again, that has been our major source of funding over the years. The Budget Tribunes would like that as well. So that meeting is going to be Monday morning. And I will be able to let you know after that what is going on. My understanding is the city clerk has said they don't see any reason why we couldn't get contributions from the neighborhood councils. So it's all up to Dunn. And we'll see what Dunn says. So that's my report. Thank you very much.
And Carol, I'm always ready, willing, and able to stir it up if you need assistance.
Right, so for the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, every neighborhood council is allowed to have 2 budget representatives. And those are the people who vote for budget advocates when the elections come. And our 2 neighborhood council budget representatives are myself and Linda Gravani. And Linda Gravani has been a great help to us, great help to the budget advocates. She's not a budget advocate, but we've asked her many times. So.
My
thank
time's
you.
too short. Thank you very much, Carol. Okay, number 13, discussion and possible action regarding Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council's open board seats. We currently have Jim Stein's seat, which is a business representative. And we also have a senior representative seat available. In June, we will have a business, an organizational seat available. So what do those mean? The seniors, you have to be 65 or older. Business rep, you have to have a business or work in the area of Lake Balboa. And organizational, you need to belong to a church or a 501c3 or an entity such as that. And you would please send an email to me if you are interested, and I will send you an application form. So if you're not interested, chat with your neighbors. They may decide to come join us. And we really are a lot of fun, even though we're on Zoom. Number 14, this is the item that we made the correction for June 2. Land use discussion of possible action regarding the appointment of a new land use chair effective June 2, 2022. Tom, I understand you spoke with a candidate that you would like to see take your place as chair of the Land Use Committee, and that is Miguel. Miguel, are you interested in chairing that committee?
Everyone,
oh, good.
yeah,
That was a yes.
so-
I heard a yes. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yes. The puppy says yes too.
Well, Miguel also is very much into city planning and land use as a college student getting degrees and such. So I would like to propose that we appoint Miguel as land use chair for the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council effective June 2.
I'll second it.
Okay, Linda Gravani made the motion, Tom Riley seconded. Any discussion from the board?
What is your background in this field, Miguel? Other than being a
So,
student?
yeah, so I currently work with the city of LA under the Parks and Recreation Department, or Recreation and Parks Department, under their planning and environmental section. Sorry, the dog is barking in the background. I also have, so my schooling currently right now, I'm a master's student pursuing my master's in urban planning and public policy, primarily focused around environmental analysis and policy. So very big on the environment. What else? Other than that, I've been working in environmental planning with regards to technical reports, preparation of environmental documents, getting project clearances, so on and so forth, for about 4 to 5 years now. On the environmental side, I work closely with, what's it called? Sorry, I'm blanking a little bit.
I'm sorry, I put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Miguel
Sometimes you need to be put on the spot.
Miguel was also instrumental in a town hall that was put together by Tom for a project that the community ultimately determined we did not want. And that's how we first got introduced to Miguel. And then we asked him to join us on the board, and here he is. And now we want him to step forward and be in charge of the land use committee. I would like.
But he's too young. He doesn't have Tom's savoir-faire.
Yeah, we're all too young. So anyway, I would like to appoint Miguel. Can we just take a vote of confidence? All right. Carol, would you call the roll?
Do we really need to vote on this?
Well, I would like it official, not that we're necessarily voting because I get to appoint whomever, but I would like it documented that it was unanimous or however it turns out.
Okay. James Brown.
Yes.
Michael Cortez.
Yes.
Katie Cronin is absent. Ruth Doxey.
Yes.
Jasmine Garcia.
Yes.
Linda Gravani.
Yes.
Sandra Joseph.
Yes.
Gary Kay.
Yes.
Danica is excused. Miguel, you can vote for yourself.
I'll vote yes.
Okay,
yay!
Alan Nelson.
Yes.
Okay, Carol Newman is a yes. Jeremy's not allowed to vote.
But you would, wouldn't you?
Tom Riley.
Yes.
And Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12 yeses. And no nos.
Perfect.
Two in it. Well, no, sorry, 1 absent, 1 excused, 1 ineligible.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And it is a huge job because you have to know so very much about the city. And that's why I wanted you to start the minute that Tom Riley leaves the scene. And you are more than welcome to meet together and discuss the things that have already taken place and what the reasons were when it was discussed. And there is some money that is due the neighborhood council for some projects that we need to keep an eye on. So Tom will brief you on all of that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Number 15, land use, discussion of possible action regarding a 99-cent store petition that has been going around. Tom, you did some sleuthing. Do you want to give us an update?
Yes. Sometime.
Hey.
I went to the location on Victory and Woodley where they're going to replace the grocery store that's going to move up the street. And I first drove into the parking lot to see if there's any signs about the 99-cent store, and there was 0. I checked out the small store there, does party programs, you know, birthday parties, Christmas parties, whatever. They have balloons and all the other good things in life. And they had some other small stuff. And so I would assume that that would be, they're worried about 99-cent store being their competition, which they certainly would be, and they're far, far bigger than those two stores. And you're talking about something that is probably closer to 50,000 square feet versus maybe 1,000 at most. And you're talking about 2 employees in the small one, you're probably talking about 50, 60 in the big one. But again, when I went through there was no notice. The grocery store had a big sign up saying we're hiring. So there's a number of people they're going to add to their employment when they move up the street on Sherman Way, which is probably about 3 months away. I then went to the 99-cent store in Reseda. And I spoke to the manager as to whether the store, whether they had planned to increase them exposure by going to the store on Victory. And he said he had not heard anything about it. So that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that the local stores around are not aware that another store of their size and organization is going into the location. He did tell me that he would ask his boss, who's a regional director, and that he would get back to me with whatever the regional director said. And I obviously will pass that along to everybody at this moment. But we don't know enough yet. I know somebody's rallying the troops because it's on email. I think there's like 500 people who have participated in the petition so far, but I haven't had any word from anybody about it going in there. And quite frankly, there's no reason why they can't go in there as they are today, because they don't need any special permits to go in there. It's just another retail store. If they want to have beer and wine and alcohol, they're going to have to take an application for that. If they want to do something else, they're going to have to get an application. But as a retail store, they can just go in there. That's what it's zoned for. That's what it is. So there's no way we can really prevent it from happening. Indeed, if we thought it should happen. And to give you a quick idea based on my Boston history, there was a corner about 5 miles north of downtown Boston. And on each one of the 4 corners was a Dunkin' Donuts store. And all seemed to be doing well. So just because there's a store that's like yours doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, or that it's going to put the first one out of business, because those 4 Dunkin' Donuts were doing fine. So as I get to know more, I will let you know, but at this point, I don't see any way we can, or anybody can stop them from moving in there if they want to. And they bring, if they were to move in there because of the size of the stores, etc., they would be an asset to the community. That's
Thank you. Okay, Jeremy and then James Brown.
Real quick, as someone that walks down to that Vallarta all the time, I live just down the street. I'm sad that I won't be able to just simply walk across the street anymore. But there was rumor of a grocery outlet that was going in. Is that just simply rumor, or was there any validity to that? Just curious, or do you know?
We actually don't get notice unless something needs to be voted on, such as a zoning change, such as beer and wine, such as hard liquor. Those are the things we can vote on. A business can go in as long as they're following the business license and the rules and regulations. So we have nothing to say about it, quite honestly. And I don't know how the people on the petition know that it's going to be a 99-cent store, because we haven't found anything about that.
No, I haven't had any feedback. And I called the owner of the property about a year or so ago, and he claimed to know nothing about anything. So, you know, the cooperation wasn't great coming out of him for whatever reason, because you're talking about big companies and they plan ahead.
Yeah.
When they bought Toys R Us, had a 5-year plan before they opened the place. And
yeah, thank you.
The store would have the same thing, maybe 3 years, 4 years, but 99-cent store didn't dream it up on April 1st. That's, never mind. Didn't bring it up on April 1st to move in there on April 15th. There's too much.
Okay, James has a question. James?
Yes, hey, Tom, when you and I spoke about this 99-cent store scenario more than a month ago, you had indicated to me that they'd already signed a 10-year lease. Is that not correct?
That's what we were told. I don't know anything about it. And I'm not sure that if I was in touch with a close relationship with the owner and or 99, they're going to tell me what their business transactions are. That's really none of our business. Does that answer the question?
Actually, well, the only other issue that I had in looking at the petitions and the notifications that I've seen on social media about the 99-cent store, people were concerned about an increase in crime in that area. And if that is the case, you know, I don't know if there's anything that we could do about it as a council. I know LAPD, and I've spoken to them about it. They've indicated that there's nothing they can do unless something happens. So this is a scenario that's to be continued, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We can't do anything at any level until they do something that requires something, a special permit from the city.
Thank you. Carol?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that shopping center is very clean, very well maintained. You know, the landlord cares about who's in there and the businesses that they have in there. And compare that with the shopping center right across the street that is constantly full of graffiti, and there's never any tenants in there because nobody wants to move in there. Whereas the shopping center where the Vallarta currently is located is just really a model for Lake Balboa. And so, you know, the current Vallarta really has been, it's been a problem with parking. You know, there isn't enough parking for the Vallarta. That's been a problem. And hopefully they're going to have enough parking now when they move up to Sherman Way. But I mean, that we should support that shopping center and let them move in there who they think they should be moving in there. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Okay. We need, Tom, we need to move on. We all know we can't do anything about it at this point in time, and we know nothing more than we do. So unfortunately, I want to move on because we've got about 15 more items on the agenda. Number 16, update, discussion of possible action regarding Neighborhood Watch Project. Gary?
Thank you. Can I please be granted a screen share permission?
I think anyone can screen share.
All right, well, I was hoping to share a screen, but I will just walk you through then my update regarding the Neighborhood Watch group. Details on our Neighborhood Watch program can be found on our website. Thus far, we have held 3 block captain training meetings and orientations. Thus far, we have block captains for 9 of our 18 zones. I wanted to share our zones with you, but at the moment I can't do that. But we are still looking for additional block captains for all zones, not just the 9 zones where we're currently without block captains. Thus far, block captains have been given for their distribution approximately 1,854 window decals as part of their and our community outreach. We still have some block captains that have yet to receive their window decals for their distribution. Thus far, we have spent $1,085.97 of the previously approved $8,000, leaving us a current balance of $6,914.03. And hopefully by the next hopefully by the next update that I provide, we'll have block captains that will have actually held some of their neighborhood watch meetings, whether those be virtual or in person, as thus far they're just doing the assessing issues and seeing who's on board in their neighborhood. There's really no action to be taken. It was really an update, but if there are any questions, general questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.
Ruth?
Yes, could you say again how many captains we have for how many zones?
Sure, we have 9 block captains. We have 9 out of our 18 zones.
18 zones, okay. Thank you, and
Now,
sorry I haven't.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, there are block captains for 9 out of our 18 zones. Some of those zones have multiple block captains.
Okay.
Can you also go over the numbers again, what you've spent and what's left?
Sure. We've spent $1,085.97. Again, $1,085.97 out of the previously approved $8,000, leaving us a current balance of $6,914.03.
Michael?
Gary, what is the responsibility of block captains? Do they need to meet monthly, or yeah, what is their roles?
They definitely do not need to meet monthly. All of that is covered on the website. So I would advise you and any stakeholders that might be interested in becoming a block captain to start there. There's a lot of useful information there, but no, they can meet as frequently or as seldom as they wish.
Can we recruit you, Michael? You don't have to answer right now. But anyone that does wish to be a block captain or be a block captain with someone else, our idea is specifically, we need to know who's in our community, and the only way that we can seem to do it is to have neighborhood watch meetings and get names and email addresses and phone numbers. Whenever we do any other kind of outreach, we don't get that many names and addresses. So if we want to poll the community on something that's happening in our community, it's basically the board speaking for the whole community. And I would like to be able to outreach to the community and say, hey, we've got X number of block captains. Can you ask your teams to let us know what they think about X, Y, and Z? So that's the ultimate goal, is to connect the community. I did order more window decals, and it's about $3,400 based on last year's pricing. I haven't been given an invoice yet, so I'm not really sure, but that's in the ballpark. And if you do have window decals, mine didn't stick. I called the company and I said, hey, it's just rolling around. It's not sticking to the window. And then he advised me that the windows need to be squeaky clean. So when I cleaned my windows, it's been sticking very nicely. So just FYI. Number 17, discussion and possible action regarding the old Sizzler property. There's a lot of graffiti. The weeds are growing out of control, almost like my front yard. And it really doesn't look so great. And I mentioned that to Deanna, and she is going to assist us in getting some of that taken care of. Number 18, discussion of possible action regarding the collection bin at Genesta and Cantley. We corrected that from Wyandotte, which I misspelled. Actually, Tom went by and he says he couldn't find the collection bin. And I said, there is a city ordinance. And so I drove by after I spoke with Tom, and the bins are gone. The homeless person is still there with a sofa, but the bins are gone. So Vienna, I'm going to ask your assistance on getting housing for this homeless person that's sitting behind the parking lot at Sizzler's. So we're happy. That worked out wonderfully. Number 19, update, discussion and possible action regarding senior lead officers. Gary Kay.
Thank you. Again, I was hoping to be able to screen share. Ruth, I did email you the document. Are you able to screen share? In the meantime,
I'm sorry, it states that any panelist can screen share, so I don't know.
Well, I don't know why I can't either. I've been able to in the past, but nonetheless, Ruth, I did send it to you. If you're able to put it up, great. If not, I'll start to go through the updates, but I do think sharing this one will be helpful. Traditionally, the West Valley LAPD has had 2 dedicated senior lead officers assigned to Lake Balboa. Basic Car 10A39, which is currently Senior Lead Officer Sam Park, at an email address of 35234@lapd.online, phone number 818-374-7629. And then we also have Basic Car 10A17, which is currently vacant. For over the past 2.5 years, a large portion of Lake Balboa, along with part of the Sepulveda Basin, has been without a dedicated senior lead officer. Senior Lead Officer Smith was initially loaned out to another division, but ended up staying there and not returning. For quite some time, we've been told that they were working on finding us a new senior lead officer, but that position had to be posted and advertised first. On Monday, March 21st, I emailed the Deputy Chief Hamilton, Captain Miles, and Commander Valenzuela regarding this long open vacancy, expressing my concern for the community needing a dedicated senior lead officer of our own. That very same day, Deputy Chief Hamilton emailed me back and we set up a time to speak for the very next day. So again, this is meant to be an update. There's not necessarily any action that we as a board need to take, but there are some actions that as board members and stakeholders we can do. But on Tuesday, the 22nd, I spoke with Deputy Chief Hamilton via phone, and there are a few suggestions or takeaways that I wanted to share with the board and the stakeholders. There is currently a 188 officer deficit here in the San Fernando Valley. There are roughly 11 senior lead officer vacancies within the San Fernando Valley. He stated that Chief Moore was committed to have personnel advertise the senior lead officer positions within the next 2 months, and that once that's done, it would take approximately 6 weeks before the positions are filled. So in other words, in 4 months, should the positions get advertised, we should have a new dedicated senior lead officer. Additionally, Deputy Chief Hamilton encouraged me, as well as fellow board members and or community members, to please log on and call into the weekly LA Police Commission Zoom meetings and to speak up during public comment regarding any issues and concerns like this one, where we feel the LAPD is not meeting our needs or expectations. And then if we can continue to scroll, but here's the info for the weekly 9:30 a.m. Tuesday morning LA Police Commission meetings. Perhaps if people are interested, this meeting is being recorded, but you also might want to take a screenshot of the screen now. But below are the instructions that were given to me that may be given to any community member on how to log on and give public comment. And it's via Zoom or via phone. That's my update. If we can leave that up for a moment while, if there's anything to discuss or any questions.
Yeah, to add to what Gary has just said, I spoke with Chief Hamilton today, and he reiterated all of the information that you see that Gary has indicated in his screens. The chief also additionally indicated that the current vacancy that used to be filled by Officer Para, she, by the way, is in charge of the court detail downtown and has been for some time. And it's because of the budget shortages that the LAPD has undergone that is one of the major reasons why we haven't actually got a replacement senior lead officer along with the other 10 that are needed. The city council voted to increase the funding on LAPD by some $131 million, which the city council voted for and is on the mayor's desk to be included as a part of his upcoming budget. And that should, if he signed it, take place within the next fiscal year. That should account for additional officers, particularly here in the San Fernando Valley. Recently, for example, on a one-off basis, some 17 additional officers were sent here to the Valley. 10 of them, I should say 17, all 17 actually were in the Devonshire division where they were assigned. So with respect to making your feelings known to LAPD, I should also add that folks should also attend the CPAP meetings. These are meetings where you have the opportunity to speak up, to talk about things that you like or don't like with respect to LAPD, to ask questions and to get answers. Whereas calling into the LAPD weekly meeting on Tuesdays, sometimes you don't get through, other times you don't get what you want to get out. But the CPAP meetings are a perfect opportunity for you as board members or you as community members to make your feelings known to LAPD, as well as to meet and hear from the senior lead officers assigned right now to your specific area. In lieu of the vacancy right now that we have due to the absence of slow para, that vacant area is co-shared with a number of senior lead officers that double up on the vacant area. Those being Hugo Fuentes, who you all should know and remember, as well as Oscar Bocanegra, and as well as Officer Sam Park. So that area is being covered in a tag team sort of a fashion, but nonetheless, we should have our own dedicated senior lead officer within the next few months, according to the chief. So Gary, thank you for that report.
Thank you.
Any questions? Oh, yeah, we have a hand raised here. MR?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we sure can. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I live on Janessa, and actually, I know that somebody mentioned that the bins are gone. Only one of the bins is gone now. One remains, and I go on a daily walk, and every day it seems like the shopping carts and the trash is just piling up. I understand that someone is being called to deal with the homeless person there, but at this point, as of this morning at around 9:30, one of the bins still remains.
Did you see the sofa? Was the
There
sofa
was no
there?
sofa. No, there was no sofa. There was about 2 trash bins. I'm sorry, 2 shopping carts. The one collection bin, and there was like other items there. I know I don't want to make eye contact with the person, but yeah, it was still there.
I
this
agree
morning.
with you. The person, and I don't know if it's male or female, is on the back side of the parking lot
Yes.
for Sizzler. So the person stays kind of on the other side of the tree there, so it's hard to see who it is. But we'll work on getting him or her housing, and then clean that up.
And it's actually pretty noticeable. Somebody did remove one of the bins and they did clean it up. So it's very noticeable that someone's there.
Yes.
And so I don't know, but I mean, whoever cleaned it up, I mean, they did a great job. Unfortunately, the two of them need to be removed, and something, needs to be done about that location.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No other questions? No. Thank you. Number 20, update, discussion and possible action regarding Linda Pruitt Memorial Emergency Preparedness Outreach Day. Sandy?
Okay. I was hoping to have really great news today, and I don't. We're still in a pattern of holding because we are having more and more and more and more hoops to jump through to get this event done. And I don't really understand why we're having such an issue trying to get an event done to honor a founding member, to honor our Lake Balboa neighborhood, but it has been beyond frustrating. So I can't tell you that the event is going to happen. I pray that it will. I can't say right now. We're in a holding pattern. We've got everything ready to go. We can't get the flyers made. We can't get anything going because we don't have the okay from the neighborhood council. I'm sorry, from the NC funding department.
Yeah.
So I am extremely, it's beyond frustrated at this point. We're just trying to do the right thing. We're just trying to honor somebody, and we're trying to have an outreach event. We're trying to give away free emergency preparedness giveaways. We're just trying to do really what should be done. And we're not at this point able to do it. But if we are, it is going to be May 14th. It's going to be held at 7900 Balboa Boulevard. We can't even put this on the website because we still don't have the okay from NC funding. And again, more and more and more and more hoops to jump through. We were supposed to hold this in October of 2021, had one too many hoops to jump through. So we said, okay, we're not going to do it then. We're going to hold it when Linda Pruitt's daughter and granddaughter and her family can come down, so we can do this correctly. And here we are. May 14th is coming up, and we still don't have the okay from NC funding. So I don't know what to say, except let's just move forward and hope for the best. At the next meeting, we'll know for sure if it's a yay or nay. But I have to tell you, I feel continually like nobody wants the neighborhood council to flourish, to do what's right for their neighborhoods. And again, extremely beyond frustrating. But everything is ready to go. We just need the okay so we can get the flyers made up. We can get it to the students. We can get everything. This event is going to be huge. It's going to be great. God willing, it happens May 14th. It's going to be from 10 to 1 p.m. From 10 to 11, it's going to be presentation of certificates to the family and speakers that knew and have had a part of Linda Pruitt's life, who will be speaking. And then from 11 to 1, there's going to be booths set up so that people can learn how to be a ham radio operator, how to do CPR correctly, how to become a CERT member, and to also Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council will be there. Obviously, Battalion 10, who is the part of our CERT team. All this can be explained. There's going to be lots of free gifts. And, of course, current COVID-19 protocols will apply. I'm hopeful because, what choice do we have? That's all I got right now. Sorry.
Thank you. Daniel, you want to add something to it?
Yes, please. First off, forgive me because I'm in transit right now. So if I break up or anything, please let me know. I wanted to say in regards to the event that is due to happen, one of the concerns in terms of the review, because I was a part of that with city clerk funding, is making sure that the hangar, we try to get clarity if the city owned it and or if it was private. And now that we have more clarity in regards to that.
I'm sorry, Daniel, there's background noise from somebody. We need to make sure everybody is muted because it's interfering with what you're saying. Go ahead, please.
So what I was saying is that was on my end, by the way.
Oh.
Okay, Daniel's out.
Well, part of the difficulty is the location. The city clerk wanted to make sure that there was insurance. Well, neighborhood councils are insured by the City of Los Angeles's risk management team. So I forwarded that documentation. They're saying, well, the company that owns the lease on the property, are they allowed to sublease it? And I mean, it's just, we just need the location, and there's, throw up your hands again. Gary, and then Linda.
Two things. One, Sandy, apologies if I'm stepping on your toes if this was intentionally not mentioned, but there was talk of there being a bloodmobile at this as well. Assuming the event does happen, and that's one of the things that we're still going to have. I think it's worth mentioning here because I think that's a big draw for the community. But I don't understand why we're waiting for approval, why we can't have it at least on the website on the calendar. There's plenty of events on the calendar that are not Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council events. It's an EP meeting. And even if the location is TBD, at least it puts it on people's radar. You know, if we want to have a big draw and there's no way to get people to save the date, by the time we get the approval, it may be too late to really recruit and get a lot of the community there above and beyond the flyers that are going to go out to the school.
Is there going to be a bloodmobile, Sandy?
It's on hold right now. I still don't know. Dave's working on it. So there's it's a possibility, but I don't know for sure.
Thank you. Linda Schwerin?
Am I unmuted?
No, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. With regard to all the comments about the event, the latest news that I have is that documents that Lake Balboa submitted to INSEE funding have been accepted, and it appears, let me put this in quotes, it appears at this point that what we're waiting for is confirmation from the site to verify that the city and the neighborhood council will be additionally insured at the event. So there isn't any issue to my knowledge with regard to Lake Balboa. We are waiting for a response on that. It's in the works now. And as Sandy said, hoops, 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 hoops. But within the next few days, hopefully, we'll have a positive response and Sandy will be able to provide an update.
Linda, the city insures Lake Balboa events. It's the city's, city's insurance, and that has been provided to the clerk, the city clerk.
Correct.
So,
the issue here is not our insurance from the city, but the event site or the venue location providing corroboration and that the city, which includes neighborhood councils, would be additionally insured at the event. And so we're awaiting an update on that. And I think that's all we're waiting for.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. The city of Los Angeles will is the insurance for the event.
No, there's two insurances. The city provides insurance that covers us. The city also wants an insurance certificate. Let's just say it's from the site, from the venue where we are. The city wants a certificate insurance, and that is what we are waiting for, is something from the site or the venue to state that we are insured on their property for the event.
Well,
so
then I can tell you the first time you and I met with Ryan, he said, does the city insure? And we said, yes. So if there, wait, let me just finish. Additionally, the additional insurance is not going to happen.
No, that's not what I said. Maybe I was not clear. The additionally insured or the insurance certificate that we are awaiting has nothing to do with the city. It is an insurance certificate from Park VNY or their landlord. And that has not been provided yet. That is what we're waiting.
I understand, but that's what Ryan said will not happen. When you and I met with him, it's not their insurance. It's not going to happen. We'll talk about that later, but anyway, there's hoops to jump through.
Correct.
James?
Yeah, it just seems as though the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, or certainly Sandy Joseph doesn't know what's going on, because obviously by her emotional reaction and response to all of this, she hasn't been kept into the loop on this. And so it looks to me at this point in time, unless a thunderbolt happens from on high, that the odds of this happening are slim, considering the fast approaching date in May. So I think what we need to think about doing is doing a better job of communicating with each other and doing a better job of getting to the people that need to supply the information, instead of listening to all of these excuses. Excuse me, I didn't mean to use that word. Listening to all of these reasons why something can't get done. Everybody, those who know what should be done should lend a hand in helping to get it done.
Sandy is the chair of this. Sandy is doing all of this, so she has been and is in the loop. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay.
I think you know the stuff that's going on. It's just the difficulty of working with the city. I see Daniel is back. Daniel?
Yeah, so what I can do is tomorrow try to get a clear understanding of what is possible based off what I just heard you said, Linda, which is Ryan may not provide that documentation. So I'll do my best to expedite a response to say what's next or what's possible, okay?
Yeah, I sent a message to the new clerk several days ago. I copied in Sandy and we got a response back. She said nothing about the risk management for the city of Los Angeles. She's talking specifically about Park VNY. And as I mentioned, originally, Ryan at Park VNY says, we're not going to insure anything. You have insurance, correct? And we said yes. So that's now a new wrinkle that the city clerk wants, is insurance from the facility. Steve?
Yeah, well, the facility landlord is LAWA, and that's a different entity from the city of Los Angeles. The two don't talk to each other. And we've run into that problem just trying to use the facility at the flyaway. So the facility's landlord is LAWA, and they're the ones that have to then approve LA City taking responsibility. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Linda, you've already spoken. I'm going to continue on
This is very pertinent. I think this relates to what Steve said.
Okay, quickly if you can.
Okay. Park BNY is part of, I want to call it global aviation. It's just a second.
LAWA, Los Angeles.
No. Their parent is Pacific Aviation Development, and Pacific Aviation Development is the leasing from LAWA, and we are working through 3 different layers. At this point, and Sandy has been updated on these things, even though we're all totally frustrated, everything has gone through smoothly, except for this one particular item, and it's being worked on. And thank goodness that Daniel was here and he heard that. But NC funding has more than one person working on it, and they should be responding to Sandy as soon as the information is available, and hopefully that will be by Friday, so we can keep on going.
Thank you. Lydia?
Yes, I just have a question. Is this the location that you guys have moved your in-person meetings to when you go back?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sandy, when you get a chance, call me. I'll try to help you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 21, update. One Generation forwarded a thank you for the $1,000 NPG funds for the senior symposium. They appreciated our contributing. Number 22, budget. Discussion of possible action regarding the February 2022 monthly expense report. Linda?
Lydia.
No, Linda Schwerin. Treasurer's report.
We're on number 22, correct? Correct?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes, I'm sorry, I had to find my
Okay.
place.
Yeah, I was looking for my place as well. All right. I make a motion to adopt the February 2022 MER monthly expenditure report for Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council.
Second.
And this,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Linda Schwerin made the motion, Ruth Doxey seconded. Discussion.
Let's vote.
Perfect. Oh, by the way, it's time for Jasmine to leave. Would you please show at 8:40 p.m. that Jasmine is leaving because she cannot vote on funding items? And not that she doesn't find this totally entertaining. I'm sure you have homework to do, so go for it.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
All right, I'll take the vote. James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
I'm gonna abstain since I wasn't part of the board in February.
Katie Cronin is absent. Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
Jasmine is
Ineligible.
right. Linda Gravani,
Yes.
Sandra Joseph.
Yep.
Gary Kay,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Ellen Nelson,
Yes.
Carol Newman is yes. Jeremy can't vote. Tom Riley,
Tom, you muted. You muted.
Tom, you need to, there you go.
Well, as I said earlier, yes.
And Linda Schwerin.
yes,
All right, we have 10 yeses, 1 abstain. Let's see, 1 absent, 1 excused.
Carol, there should be 3 absent.
Well, yes, 1 absent, 1 excused, and 1.
We put them all as absent at this point. So it's Cronin, Garcia, and Middleton are absent.
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Lydia.
Just helping you.
Appreciate it. So it's 10, 1, and 3. It's 10 yeses, it's 1 abstain and 3 absent.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And Linda or Carol, I am hitting the time. I am recording writing down the time that these votes are being taken. I didn't know if you were doing that, Carol, but
yes, I am.
Danica usually does, but I was trying to help you out too. Okay.
Yes, thank you, I am.
You're welcome.
Daniel?
It's muted.
Yeah, so I believe there should be 1 ineligible, and that should be Mr. Riley.
yeah, Jeremy's ineligible.
He's saying Riley.
Yeah, there should be 2 ineligible.
Oh,
All right, so is Tom eligible or ineligible?
No, Tom is not eligible due to the status on the Empower LA website.
So is Tom not eligible for any vote? Because he's been voting.
Tom is solely not eligible for funding.
Just funding?
Yes.
Right.
So then it's 9 to 3.
So Carol, it's 9 yes, 1 abstention, 2 ineligible, and 3 absent.
Wait. Right, ineligible is Jeremy and Tom.
Yes. Cortez was abstain, and then absent is Cronin, Garcia, and Middleton.
All right, I'll figure it out. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Look, guys, I mean, I was secretary for 3 years, you know, I'm trying to get back into it.
I'll help you in any way I can.
It's all coming back to you now, right, Carol?
No.
Moving right along.
Are you good, Carol?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Number 23, funding deadlines. Again, May 20th is the final date to request event approval. June 1 is the final date for check payment. And that means on the 2nd of June, there's no more checks being written. So if you're doing a special project or you need additional money, you're not going to get it. June 20, final date for bank card transactions. So if we're needing to purchase something, office items or payment of something via the bank card, it has to be done June 20th or before. So please keep that in mind. So according to the February MER that we just voted on, there's available funds of $23,501.96. Outstanding big ticket items are approximately $16,000, which has been allocated for Movie in the Park, Linda Pruitt Memorial, Neighborhood Watch. This is around numbers. It leaves approximately $7,500. There's noise. Thank you. There's approximately $7,500 available for outreach. The Linda Pruitt event will have about 2,000 unused funds. Neighborhood Watch will have about 2,000 unused funds in round numbers to go back into the budget. So approximately $7,500 plus $4,000 for the unused funds for Neighborhood Watch and for Linda Pruitt gives us about $11,500. There are items number 24 through 30 equate to about $5,475. I'm sorry, $6,025. So if we approve items 24 through 30, it will leave about $5,475 in available funds that so far will not be used. So the reason I'm doing this is there's several items 31 through 37 that are asking for funds. I just want you to know that this is an approximate number, pretty close, but it's approximate. And if we want to vote on those things this evening, know that there's money in the budget for it. So the following items will be a consensus vote unless a board member wishes to have an item removed and discussed separately. They are all items Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council has purchased previously. It's not something new. Items 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 will be a consensus vote. Does anybody want to pull something out, Steve Leffert?
I don't want to pull anything out. I just want to make sure and it's clear that all of those items will have the Lake Balboa name and logo on the items.
City clerk will not approve anything that does not have our logo on it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. There is the grocery tote that Linda Schwering provided the picture of was from 2014. It was an old logo. I'm assuming, Linda, that you're going to have the LB NC logo that we currently use. Is that correct?
No, there had been no consideration. Actually, up to this point in time, even including last fall, Lake Balboa has been using 2 different logos on occasion. We do not have an official single logo. One is the traditional LB, and the other logo is the circular logo. Hello. Wait a minute.
Okay, so do we want to pull that out and discuss it?
This one. Well, I did not see any need to make a change unless someone on the board has an issue with it. LB, as has been joked to me over many years. Are we
Long
sure
Beach?
that, yeah, are we LB or are we Long Beach? So we've used LB and we have also used this. And
That's
this
the
is,
latest one, right?
that's the latest one, and we've used it on bags, totes. We used it on pens last year.
I think we should stick with that one.
And we've already paid.
Wait a second, James, I didn't hear you.
I believe we should stick with that one on the bags that we've been currently using.
Yeah, and we've already paid for the art setup charge.
Okay, so does anyone want to pull that out and discuss it further? Okay. So I move that Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council approve items 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 as identified in the agenda.
I second.
Gravani made the motion, James Brown seconded. Any further discussion? Perfect, let's take a vote.
You're muted, Carol.
Sorry, I'm going to show this in the form as one item 24 through 30 consensus.
Correct.
At 8:50. Okay, James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
not here. Linda Gravani,
Yes.
Sandy Joseph,
Yes.
Gary King,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Ellen Nelson,
Yes.
Carol Newman, yes. Jeremy Pizanik, ineligible. Tom Riley, ineligible. Linda Schwer.
Yes.
Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3.
Thought Ellen Nelson couldn't vote.
Why?
I thought he was,
That was not decided. He's been voting. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yes. 3 absent. 2 ineligible.
Thank you. Number 31, funding.
Gary has his hand up.
Gary.
Thank you. Just real quickly on the trifolds, we did not discuss what information it's going to have as far as meeting location, and just wanted to be sure that it's not outdated or incorrect information, and maybe that it just directs people to the website for the latest information.
Yes, that needs to be updated, and either Linda, who is our pro tem outreach person, or whoever would like to collaborate on that to provide information so that we can update that before we have it printed, because we do need it before the next 2 big events.
I believe that Jeremy, you did that when you were communications officer. We got to mute everybody.
Oh.
What was that?
Did you not update the trifold when you were communications officer?
I believe I did. I thought we had sent that in and we were going to get that printed, but I don't think that ever happened.
And Linda, I think you mentioned that during the shredding event that those were new trifolds.
Yeah, as to my knowledge, unless Jeremy collaborated with Jim Stein, the last update was June of last year, and Jim Stein provided the information to the printer. Now, Jeremy may also have collaborated on that, but I know that Jim Stein is the one who is responsible for submitting.
All right, well, rather than just all these names being tossed around, why don't we just be sure that before it is submitted to the printer, that we have the right information directed
Yeah,
to the website and not spend
definitely.
any more time on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We will be able to spend the money. What we're printing is secondary at the moment. So number 31, funding, discussion and possible action regarding neighborhood purposes grant for 1,500 from NPG budget for Friends of the Los Angeles River, and which is called FOLAR, for the annual Great LA River Cleanup, which includes Sepulveda Basin Sports Complex on June 4, Bull Creek on June 11, and the Sepulveda Basin South Reserve on June 25. Ruth? And
Yes,
just for clarification, this is not coming out of outreach. This is coming out of neighborhood purposes grant budget, which is different than what we just discussed.
Okay.
Ruth?
Yes, this is the same outfit that we supported last year with the Great LA River Cleanup. And in section 2, number 4, if the funds received from this grant will help us cover the cost of providing a dumpster and a porta potty on site, as well as work gloves for volunteers to use at the Bull Creek site that we are co-hosting in partnership with the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. So our funds are for the Bull Creek site on June 11th. I think it's a good idea to clean up the river. Everything from the river is from our community. It's gotten into the river and goes down to the ocean, pollutes the ocean. So and FOLAR is a good organization.
Make a motion, Ruth.
Okay. I move that the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council sponsor the Great LA River Cleanup by the Friends of the Los Angeles River for the Bull Creek cleanup on June 11th for an MPG for the amount of $1,500.
Gravani seconds. Haha. Ruth Doxey made the motion. Gravani seconded. Any discussion?
Yes.
Linda?
Perhaps the wording of the motion should not use the word sponsor, but instead support by Lake Balboa in the form of an NPG.
City clerk.
The motion then?
City clerk is very rigid with sponsoring, because that means we are now holding another event. So we have to get approval. So we're not holding it. FOLAR is holding it.
Right.
We're just providing funds. Support.
I think it should say, Ruth moves that LBNC approve an NPG for 1,500 for Friends of the Los Angeles River.
Good.
I second that. Yes.
That's what I wrote down.
Perfect.
And the vote?
Oh, sorry.
Well, any other discussion? I don't see any hands. Okay, vote.
8:57 p.m. Okay, James Brown.
Yes.
Michael Cortez.
Yes.
Ruth Doxey.
Yes.
Linda Gravani.
Yes.
Sandy Joseph.
Yes.
Gary Kay.
Yes.
Miguel.
Yes.
Alan Nelson.
Yes.
Carol Newman is yes. Let's see, Jeremy Pizanik is ineligible, Tom is ineligible, Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
So that is 10 yeses, 3 absent, 2 ineligible.
Thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, 32 funding, discussion of possible action to purchase 100 Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council logo basketball caps, pricing. Baseball caps. Yeah, Danica was to discuss that. Linda, are you ready to fill in?
Yes, if you like.
Please.
Okay. This is item 32, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to expend up to $655 for 100 LBNC logo baseball caps. These are cloth woven caps.
Don't add that to the motion.
That's
Okay.
not what's on the agenda. That's not what's on the agenda. The agenda
What's on
only
the-
says discussion of possible action to purchase 100 LBNC logo baseball caps, pricing available at meeting.
Okay.
And is that enough notice to have pricing in the motion?
I had a question on that as well because we
I don't
had
think so.
two
Okay,
items.
do it. Wait a
not have
second.
price.
Wait a second. Do we want to table it then?
Yes.
And
Okay, table.
33 as well.
Okay, 32, 33 are tabled.
33, yes. Okay, good.
Number 34, funding, discussion and possible action to spend up to $350 for 250 refillable hand sanitizer.
No. That was $600 for the gel packs.
Are we on
35?
34.
No, we're on 34.
Oh, sorry.
Funding, discussion and possible action to spend up to $350 for 250 refillable hand sanitizers with Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council logo. Swearing.
Yeah, would like to, do you want me to go ahead and make that motion? Because we're going to need to amend that motion with regard to the amount of money. So do you want me to suggest an amendment now?
Linda,
Make it, and then
number
ask for an
34.
amendment.
Number 34 is not a motion. It's an agenda item.
Discussion and possible action with an amount of money is not for a motion. Yes, it is.
But it's not the motion. So do you have something to correct and we can discuss?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. The amount is not acceptable for the motion. Do you want the motion as it is on the agenda and then have it amended, or make an amended motion now?
What's a dollar amount, Linda?
$375. So if you
Okay.
can amend the amount, we got that, we can just do it.
So the information that we had on the paperwork previously was incorrect. So we need to then change it to 375.
That is correct.
All right, so make a motion with the correct amount.
Thank you. All right, so we don't need to do this twice. Okay. I make a motion to expend up to $375 for 250 refillable LBNC refillable hand sanitizers.
Gravani seconds. Any discussion?
How are these to be refilled?
Excuse
Are
me?
these the small hand sanitizers that you've seen before?
Funny you should ask. I have one sitting here that I use all the time. Yeah, these are the same that we that we ordered long ago. I'm still using mine. After
And I
3
believe, Michael said that that's the first to go, or whenever he's been at any function. Lydia, did we do something wrong?
Is Daniel here?
I'm sorry.
Yes, he is.
Okay. I'm waiting for Daniel
Yes, I'm
to
here.
advise you.
What was the question I had?
Well, the difficulty is we have on the agenda $350 to spend up to $350. That figure is too low and we're changing it to $375. Do you see any problem with that? Because I sure don't.
Yes, I do. Give me a second to the background noise. So yes, I would stick to the up to 350 just to play it safe. Again, changing that numerical amount will mean you have to re-agendize it.
Okay.
Should we tableize then?
I would
All
recommend
right.
up to 350. I think that should be good for you all, honestly. So you don't
Well,
have
it
to
doesn't-
retable
it
it
doesn't-
and re-agendize it.
Yeah, it doesn't work and we're spending money, We're spending time redoing to bring it back next month. I think it's ludicrous for $25 that we can't change the amount, but so be it. So we'll table that also.
Wait, I got an idea. What about if we say discussion and possible action to spend up to $350 for up to 250 refillable hand sanitizers? If you can only get 200, so you can only get 200. I mean, what's the big deal?
That's what I was gonna say.
Linda, is there, you sent forward the information. Is it, you have to buy 250 or what?
The quantity of 250 covers $375.
No.
That's not the question. My question is, can we order 200? Can we order a lower number? What?
A lower number would be a higher individual price each, but we could lower the quantity to make it fit the price. The answer is yes to that. We can just eliminate the quantity of 250 and say up to $350 for refillable hand sanitizers.
No!
Yeah, or up to 250.
I make a motion that we spend up to $350 for as many refillable hand sanitizers as we can get, up to 250.
Okay, is this a substitute motion?
I second, yes. So Carol made the motion, Gravani seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, please reread this.
Lydia?
It's discussion and possible action or motion to spend up to $350 for up to 250 refillable hand sanitizers.
Yes.
So we basically corrected this motion.
Yes.
Thank you.
And who seconded?
Gravani. Steve?
Sorry. That was my comment. I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's
So
take a
who's the-
vote, please.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, this is agenda item 34.
Correct.
And it is 9:10, let's say. Okay. James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
Linda Gravani,
Yes, please.
Sandy Joseph,
Great idea, yes.
Gary Kay,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Alan Nelson,
Yeah.
Carol Newman is yes. Jeremy is ineligible. And Tom Riley is ineligible. Linda Schwern,
Yes.
So again, 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, let me make sure I've done this right. 1, 2, 3. 10 yes, 3 absent, 2 ineligible.
Now, don't we have to vote on the other motion that we made?
Yes. Since you changed it.
So the original motion was to spend up to $375 for,
Linda, you don't have to correct it. You made the motion because the motion wasn't already on the agenda. You made an amended motion and voted for it. It's
oh,
done.
thank God. Thank you.
I was just trying to keep you guys out of trouble, so.
Thank you. I appreciate all the help I can get. Number 35, funding, discussion of possible action to spend up to $600 for 250 gel hot and cold packs, 4 inches by 4 inches.
We're technical, aren't we?
Well,
Okay.
Linda,
Yes, I know. Let's get this done and do it quickly. With regard to item 35, I make a motion to expend up to $600 for 250 gel hot and cold packs.
Second.
Yay.
Linda Schwerin made the motion, and I think James Brown came in second. Perfect. Any discussion? Let's vote.
You're muted.
Okay, number 35. 9, 10, 9, 11. James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
Linda Gravani,
Yes, absolutely.
Sandra Joseph,
Yes.
Gary Kay,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Alan Nelson,
Yes.
Carol Newman is yes. Jeremy is ineligible. Tom is ineligible. Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
So I believe it's 10 yes, 3 absent, 2 ineligible.
Good, thank you. Motion passes. Hallelujah. Okay, number 36, funding, discussion and possible action to spend up to $350 for 1,000 Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council pens. Linda?
I make a motion to expend up to $350 for 1,000 LBNC pens.
Second.
Linda Schwerin made the motion, Sandy Joseph seconded. Discussion.
Yes. Are these the red Lake Balboa pins that we have had in the past? Or are they the white pins that I saw in the attachments to the meeting?
It's the white pen you saw in attachment to the meeting. And yes, they are inexpensive, but I still have one I've been using for 4 years. Obviously, I don't write a lot or make mistakes.
Oh.
The white one. Not that you could see. So it's red, not white. I mean, it's white, not red.
That's the one.
Thank you for screen sharing.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Let's vote.
James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Ruth Doxey,
Yep.
Linda Gravani,
Yes.
Sandra Joseph,
That's right. Yes.
Gary Kay,
No.
But why?
Miguel,
Yes.
Alan Nelson,
Yes.
Carol Newman is yes. Jeremy is ineligible. Tom is ineligible. Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 9 yes, 1 no, 3 absent, 2 ineligible.
Thank you. Number 37, funding, discussion and possible action to spend up to $250 for 250 15-inch by 12-inch by 3-inch plastic event bag. Schwerin.
Just a second, I made a note. I make a motion to expend up to $250 for 250 plastic event bags.
Second.
Thank you, Ruth.
Discussion?
Yes, that's $1 a bag. And that's not very many bags. You get a couple of events that are well attended, those bags are going to be gone. Is there an alternative?
These are not flat. May I speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
All right. These are not flat bags. They are expandable. They are 15 by 12 and 3 inches deep, reusable bags, as opposed to the grocery type bags that we've already approved tonight that will cost us $900 for 500. So logo, tax, shipping. Yes, they're like, that's close to what it is. Yes, close to $1 a bag. It will actually cost slightly less, but we have a cushion in the motion.
Stacy? I think he, there you
Can
go.
you hear?
Yes.
Sorry, it took a minute for the window to pop up that says yes. Sorry.
No problem.
Technology, can't live without it. Kind of want to kill it. So I'm finding it hard to believe that we're looking at spending money on plastic bags. Like if we're thinking about something that's going to be an outreach item where people will use them again, why are we not considering those inexpensive, like not disposable, but those inexpensive, I don't even know what they're made of. They're like a weird fabric. But those bags, I mean, plastic bags are really disappointing given that we live in the basin. How much trash do we already have? Like, let's not contribute to the problem.
Thank you. I have, okay, Ruth?
Well, I'm just wondering what Linda was thinking about when to use them at the Linda Pruitt Memorial event. Is that it for EP supplies?
May I answer?
Okay, we need to raise hands. Sandy, you were going to order, I don't know if you actually did, different plastic bags.
Oh, I was going to, but Linda actually got a better deal, so we went with hers.
Okay, so this is like when you go to a trade show or something that you can get brochures and pamphlets and whatnot. And the emergency preparedness memorial, there's going to be different things from the different booths. So it was thought that we should have some plastic bags that they can put the goodies into.
Correct.
Comment?
No, Daniel is next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't need anything. I was just trying to tell you all I have to go. So good night.
Oh.
Thank you for an excellent meeting.
You just had
And
too
I will
much
follow up
fun.
with you all. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
Thank you, we will. Good night, Daniel. Linda Schwerin?
Okay. Yeah, in response to the comments that we've had before, and yes, I'm sure our neighborhood council is eco-friendly. These bags are event bags. They're not flat, and they expand to 3 inches in depth. They have a reinforced handle, and they are completely recyclable. So these are not something that would damage the environment. These would be recycled plastic just as you would any other recyclable bag.
And actually, the outreach committee actually voted these last several items that they approved them. So that's why they're on the agenda. Sandy.
Thank you. I just thought this was a great idea because, you know, holding the event and, you know, free giveaways and people like not having to put stuff in the pocket. This was a really good, I think, outreach event bag to have in general. And the fact that Linda Schwerin actually found this bag that's actually cheaper than what I was going to suggest, and it has our logo on it, was huge. So I think it's a great outreach event bag, period. And the fact that it's recyclable is just, it's wonderful. So that's all I have to say.
Stacy, do you have your hand raised again?
No.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Just for the record, these kinds of plastic bags are not typically blue bin recyclable. They have to be taken to be recycled at a store. And I get the decision making about that, but I just wanted to put that out there. Like those fabric bags that I think, did you guys have those at one time? The LBNC, like that's something I would reuse. I would use at Target. I would use at the grocery store. You know, this is going to likely be a one-time use plastic. So just for consideration, it's too late to do anything now, but please consider that again in future purchases for bags.
Thank you. Sandy?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Stacy. But I'm thinking about like the average person that's coming to an event that has nothing to put their stuff in. And so here we are, we have a plastic bag that people can put free items in and, you know, move forward. But I do appreciate the fact that you suggested that we move on to a cloth thing down the line. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol?
So what's the difference, excuse me, between this and the grocery bag? I mean, we just purchased 500 grocery bags. Wouldn't we consider giving the grocery bags in lieu of these bags? I mean, under what circumstances would we give out the plastic bags versus the grocery bags?
Are you waiting for an answer?
Well, yeah, because we already approved. We just approved a bunch of grocery bags. Why not just give those out?
Okay. The cost, if you notice the cost of the grocery bags, I have to go back and look at what we just approved now.
$900 for 500.
$900 for 500. Those bags are size-wise. Those grocery bags are 15 by 13 by 10 inches deep. They're quite large, good for groceries. Also compete with 32 other bags that people already have for groceries. The event bag is recyclable. It's 3 inches in depth and it has a reinforced handle. And therefore it could be used as a travel bag, a small one, an event bag, a book bag. And then when it gets worn out, you can put it in, take it out and put it in your bin and recycle it. That's it.
I call for the vote.
We have another hand raised, however. Michael?
No, it was okay. I just want to say, I believe that the plastic bags that we have a motion for is for the Linda Prude event as well too, if it gets approved.
Yeah. Yeah. And whatever else. I mean, movie in the park, I don't know what they're planning. It could be used for that. And the grocery bags are more for groceries. You know, not to say that you couldn't put groceries in the plastic bag, but chances are it'll be too heavy. But Sandy.
No, I agree. I think that these event bags are different than a grocery bag. And quite honestly, we should have two different bags for different events. And I think it's appropriate for the event as well as other outreach events.
Fine, let's take a vote.
Second. Or did we get one?
Sandy Joseph was a second.
Thank you.
Was.
Are we
Let's just
voting?
say she was faster than anybody else on the second.
For once.
Are we voting?
Yes.
James Brown,
Yes.
Michael Cortez,
Yes.
Ruth Doxey,
Yes.
Linda Gravani,
Yes.
Sandra Joseph,
Yes.
Mary Kay,
Yes.
Miguel,
Yes.
Alan Nelson,
No.
Carol Newman is no. Jeremy is ineligible. Tom is ineligible. Linda Schwerin.
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 yeses, 2 nos, 3 absent, 2 ineligible.
Thank you. Number 38, thank you, Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council Board members and Neighborhood Watch Block captains. We appreciate all that you do for our community, and thank you for your participation. And it is 9:26, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. And I have to congratulate everyone. We had 39 items on our agenda, and we're actually finishing our meeting at 9:30.
I cracked the whip.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Be safe and stay well.
Night.
Good night, folks. Good night, Steve.